Not fewer than 2,423 people have been killed, while 1,872 abducted across the country in President Bola Tinubu's 243 days in office. This could be attributed to a failure on the part of the government to fulfill its primary duty of ensuring the security and welfare of all citizens as mandated in Section 14, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and in its obligation to enforce and fulfill its citizens' right to life, according to Section 33 of the Constitution. This auspicious World Press Conference was organized by the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations in Nigeria, called Joint Action Group, Community of Practice Against Mass Atrocities, and Nigeria Mourns, raising voices on the deteriorating state of security across Nigeria. Speaking at the event on Monday, 29th January 2024, the co-convener and founder of Cedar Seed Foundation, Luz Awota, said the Nigerian government needs decisive action to end the endemic insecurity occasioned by kidnapped syndicates and terrorist groups, and called on President Tinubu to fulfill its constitutional mandate by declaring a state of emergency on kidnapping and other forms of terrorism.
We hereby call upon President Bola Tinubu as the lead agent of government to urgently, number one, fulfill its constitutional imperative of safeguarding the lives of all citizens. Number two, declare a state of emergency on kidnapping and other forms of terrorism. Number three, enhance the country's security infrastructure by conducting an audit of the responsibility matrix within security agencies and departments of government, bolster their capabilities and deployment of technology to effectively address the evolving challenges of insecurity. Number four, promptly prosecute the 400 sponsors of terrorism arrested under the Buhari regime. Number five, uncover and prosecute those responsible for the misappropriation of the $460 million earmarked for the provision of CCTV cameras in the Federal Capital Territory. Number six, implement more decisive measures to promptly secure the release of all abducted, register of victims of abductions and other forms of mass atrocities. Number eight, recognize and address the floundering economy, corruption and human rights violations as exacerbating factors of Nigerians' insecurity. Number nine, engage citizens on best practices for ending insecurity, including incentivizing the payment of ransoms. Number 10, provide holistic psychosocial support for abduction survivors and their families. Number 11, promptly investigate and decisively prosecute all individuals implicated in fueling insecurity. Number 12, investigate the financial flow of organized criminal groups and identify the sponsors and beneficiaries.
Earlier, the Executive Director of the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, Awaras Fanjani, faulted corruption in the security sector, noting that lives are continually endangered due to non-decisive measures to combat misappropriation of public funds meant for procuring sophisticated equipment.
Falling corruption in the security sector, because at the heart of all this is because of the corruption in the security sector, because of the resources that some people are taking from the security sector. That is why you see they are not bothered to take decisive action to block or to stop or to trap these criminals. This week, 30 villagers were abducted in an attack on Tasha Nekula village of Basani local government area of Katsina State. This comes on the heel of the abduction of 23 people in Kau community in Bari area council of the Federal Capital Territory on 11 January. Similarly, 50 people, including 36 women, were abducted in an attack on Magizawa community in Kaura, Oranamo, the local government area of Zamfara State. Over 400 people were killed in repeated attack on communities in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, including the attack on the communities in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, ground massacre of over 200 people in Pakus and very large communities in Mangu local government area of the state during the Christmas period. Road ambushes have made interstate travel more perilous. Reported incidents such as abduction of 30 passengers near Katari along Kaduna-Abuja highway and the kidnapping of 45 passengers in Orokum of Benue State, between Benue and Enugu road, underscored the gravity of the situation. Even homes are no longer safe. Homes in rural areas in northern Nigeria have for over decades contended with terror attack, and more recently, urban centers, including Federal Capital Territory, have witnessed a sort of invasion in which citizens are being abducted for ransom, even within the confines of their homes. And yet somebody who is supposed to take action is saying this is a politically motivated. So even if it is politically motivated, that is why you are a leader, that is why you are in power. You should be able to push them, punish them, and sanction them. But to make just sweeping statement that is political, what does that mean? You are not taking effort to protect the citizens and the president of Abuja. You are saying it is political, then you just move on with your own way of doing things. We think this is absolutely unacceptable and something drastic must be done.
Others advocate for massive involvement of all to effect the change Nigerians crave.
The state is in a state of abandonment. The Nigerian people have to wake up. It is not a civil society thing anymore. We have to wake up and hold these guys responsible and accountable. It is time to have a multi-stakeholder conversation on insecurity in the country.
Corruption that goes into the education sector where they are no longer, our youths are no longer getting functional and life, education. But also directly the corruption in the security sector itself, where huge sums of money are budgeted and allocated for equipment and for resources, and these simply find their way into private pockets. So we recognize that, and that's why we are saying that the question of fighting corruption should be defined. You don't just fight corruption. You should say where, in which instances, in which places you are fighting corruption and what you are going to do. And if you look at all of our demands, they are all interlinked. There's absolutely no way you are going to fight corruption in this sense. Deal with the question of the balance of the economy the way we have presented it, that it does not dovetail into the question of a state of emergency. Because what we are saying with the state of emergency is very clear. We are saying that this is an urgent situation. Recognize that it is urgent. Allocate a timeline within which you will resolve this problem, or at least roll back insecurity. So there should be a timeline. Clear, concrete.
The call for a state of emergency is before the first PRO's request for forensic investigation of suspected criminals in the country. Vincent Okwushin, reporting for Quality Television.